The 2 rules of stretching is the topic I'm going to be covering next. Now, when we're talking about the 2 rules for stretching, I'm specifically talking about if you're stretching with the goal to be increasing range of motion. While this can kind of relate to the other goal of stretching where we're trying to warm up the body temperature and get ready for training, I'm really talking about these rules for stretching when it comes to the range of motion. And that's either in a flexibility exercise, which is, remember, more passive, or a mobility exercise, which is more active. It's critical that we follow these 2 rules to get the best benefit out of it. The 2 rules are really simple. It's to breathe and smile the entire time that you're doing a stretch, especially when it comes to range of motion. And if you remember why, it's because stretching movement is dictated by breathing, which is dictated by the nervous system. And so you could think about when you're doing a stretch, whether that's an active, passive stretch, doesn't really matter. If your goal is trying to increase range of motion, what you're really trying to do is convince your body it's okay, release a little bit, relax. And so if you're not breathing, belly breathing through your nose, having full breaths, your nervous system isn't going to be relaxing. It's going to be tightening up the whole time. So yeah, you can hold a stretch for 5 minutes, but if you're chest breathing, if you're breathing through your mouth, you're pretty much wasting your time. And so it's important to tune in and communicate with the nervous system the best way you can, and breathing is one of those ways. So whatever stretch you're doing, whatever range of motion, active, passive, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure there's constant, full, deep belly breathing going on to get the most out of it. And smiling is just reinforcing that it's okay, it can relax, it can release, because again, we're just trying to communicate to the nervous system, hey, this range of motion, it's okay. Because the body is always trying to think of self-preservation. And so it's inherently going to tighten up. If you're trying to get a few more degrees of motion that hasn't happened before, the nervous system is probably thinking, hey, why are we doing this? That's not safe. We haven't done that before. Is it really necessary? And so you need to double down on letting the nervous system know it's okay. We can go through this range. We can get this new degrees of freedom here in this particular movement, especially with something, a joint like the shoulder, which is critical to swimmers. You think about how many degrees of freedom it should have. And oftentimes it's actually restricted by so many. And so if the body's been used to that for a long time, now all of a sudden to try to increase it, even 5-10%, that's a big jump. The nervous system might think, hey, I don't want to go there yet. That's not safe. So not only do you need to be breathing belly breaths, but be smiling, because that's going to just put you at a more relaxed state and hopefully get your nervous system to understand, okay, this is safe. We can proceed and slowly by slowly improve. They're simple. They're almost too simple for a lot of people, but breathing and smiling are the keys that you need your athletes to be doing when you're doing stretching with the goal of increased range of motion. It's going to be more effective. And as it gets more effective, they're going to move better, be able to get stronger, more power, more endurance. Everything's going to fall in line. But it all starts with breathing and smiling.